have a sacred technology right inside of your body that can begin to shift the alchemistry, the density that you are feeling about life right now. Welcome, everybody. My name is Emily Harrison, founder and director of the Akashic Academy, and I am a mentor to other lightworkers in the realm of the Akashic Records. If you've never heard of the Akashic Records before, I am so glad you're here. These are truly the most powerful technology, self-actualizing technology on the planet. While your breath is something that you can pull out and use anytime, the Akashic Records take a little more of a deep dive, although I would be willing to bet that if you are watching this video right now that you have had an experience in your Akashic Records before, whether it was purposeful or not. And I want to give you guys some tools and some tips today that when you are diving in to access that infinite intelligence, that powerful resource of the Akashic Records, that you can begin to clear out your state and have immediate access. How many of you guys feel like you may have accessed the Akashic Records before? Like you may have stumbled onto the records in dream time or in deep lucid meditation. This is something that many, even some very famous humans, have done, I might say. Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs were all known for going into lucid states of meditation and shifting their consciousness, shifting their brainwaves in order to extract intelligence from the field. Okay, and this intelligence, ooh, it is so much smarter than me and you. The Akashic field, this level of intelligence, of consciousness, exists in with zero judgment and only unconditional love for you, for humanity. Even the assholes out there get the same level of unconditional love and zero judgment when you dive into the record. So maybe if you're feeling like an asshole, or you know somebody in your life who's being a little assholey to you, let's learn how to begin to shift our breath and go in and receive that divine intelligence that's available for us. Okay, so the first thing that I always want to share with you is the power of the breath itself. Breath is a magical technology. Of course, it's what's keeping us alive in every single moment. And your breath is the bridge between your physical body and the higher states of consciousness. So anytime that I'm working with my students or my clients to go into the records, we always start with some cleansing breath work. All right? So we're going to do a little synchronized breathing here today. I'm going to invite you to sit up nice and straight. I want you to imagine the crystalline tube of light that is running up and down your spine. And when we breathe, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and begin to look inward. Even if it's your imagination that's making it up, it's fine for you to drive your imagination. Totally okay. You don't have to wait for things to pop in. Okay, you can drive this, and as you begin to drive it, you will notice more of the divine pop in, as I'll say. Okay, but I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and we're going to breathe really nice and deep. And I want you to take the first nice deep breath in, and see your breath, your life force energy traveling all the way up this crystalline tube, out the top of your head. Pause up here. Okay, this is an integration point, a point of zero resistance, where the space you just created sinks its way into your body. So then exhale. Letting the air all the way out of the lungs and seeing the breath move all the way back down to the base chakra or the root of the spine. Take another deep breath in. Nice and slow. When you pause up here again, pausing at the top of the breath, you're letting all of that space integrate into the cellular structure of your body. Exhale. How many of you can feel yourself shifting and changing already? This is truly shifting your brainwaves. Take a nice another deep breath in. See the breath rising all the way up, pausing at the top, letting that space integrate into the body, releasing those areas where we're tight, we're stressed, we're struggling. Nice slow exhale. Don't rush the exhale. Go nice and slow with it. Take another deep breath in. See the breath rising all the way up through that crystalline tube. Pull it out at the top of your head. Reach up there for it. Clear out those upper chakras so you can bring in new intelligence. Good. Exhaling. Take 2 more nice deep breaths together. Fill the lungs up to maximum capacity and pausing up there. And then slowly releasing that breath. Exhale the stress. Let it go out of the body. 1 more nice deep breath in. Get big with it. Feel it. Feel the body shifting and changing. And then an exhale. Don't rush the exhale. Bring the lungs all the way out. Get all that old stale air out. All right, how many of you guys feel better? Just some breath work there. Getting the breath going and moving in the body. I do. I already feel better. I want to transition now, and let's talk a little bit about the Akashic Records as technology as well. The breath, of course, is a powerful technology that exists right within our body. We're using it consistently on a day-to-day basis, even if we're not paying attention to the fact that we are using our breath. It's why it's great to start paying attention to how we're using the breath and clearing out what we can clear out with it. Let's talk about the Akashic Records. All right? The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness where all information exists. Every detail of your past, your present, all possible future. Future exists in infinite possibility. There's always wiggle room. And once you clear out the breath and you get yourself nice and clear and open to new possibility, you can actually begin to direct your future a lot more dynamically than if you're stuck in that same old energy. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we wanted to clear out the space before we begin talking about what truly is possible for you. The records exist in what's known as 7th dimension space-time. That means you got to shift your consciousness. You got to get out of those old stagnant brain waves that are on repeat inside of your being so that you can truly go in and open and access the intelligence that is available for you. All right, you guys want to know what's really going on inside of your brain? The average human is thinking between 12 and 60,000 thoughts per day. All right, I am a high achiever. I'm a bit of a type A personality. I like to be on, if you can get a 10, like I'm thinking about doing gymnastics now when I was a little girl, and I would like run and I'd be like, Mom, give me a score. Did I get a 10? Hell, I didn't even want the 10. I wanted an 11. Like high achiever right here. So when I first heard those statistics between 12 and 60,000 thoughts per day, I was like, oh, I want to be in those 60,000. I want to have a lot of thoughts going. It doesn't actually work that way. We find the most intelligent souls on the planet, those people who are the happiest, who are the least stressed, actually have the least amount of thoughts going on. Okay? So this is why you can't use your average everyday brainwaves to tap into the records, because your average everyday brainwaves are screwing you, people. Okay? So the average brain is having between 12 and 60,000 thoughts per day. All right? 80% of those thoughts are the same thoughts you thought yesterday. How many of you guys can relate? You're like, oh, yep. Actually, what's in my mind right now is the same shit that I was processing yesterday and the day before and the day before. Those thoughts tend to get really stagnant and play on repeat. Here's some more really scary statistics about those thoughts that are going on in your mind. All right, 90 to 95% of them are negative. Until we actually learn to get a hold and get control of our thoughts, and this takes reprogramming for a lot of people. It took reprogramming for me. I spent a hell long time of my life very depressed. All right, and then I figured out, oh, it's because I'm not choosing the thoughts. I'm letting the thoughts just come in and play out in my mind, in my field, and I'm not actually saying no to certain thoughts that come in. How many of you guys have a problem saying no to commitments in your life? All right, if you find you're doing things that you don't really want to do, You might have a problem saying no. We got to say no to our thoughts as well. Okay? You've got to learn to get control of the thought patterns. When you notice that a thought is coming in that's not serving you, you have a choice to stop thinking that thought. I didn't realize that for a long time. Because here's the last statistic I want to give you. 95% of those thoughts that you're thinking, you don't even realize you're thinking them. They're happening so fast, they're happening so quickly, they're causing you to be on such a repeat, a rinse and repeat of your life. No, the F wonder. We keep repeating karma. We keep repeating bad relationships. We keep repeating bad choices. We keep getting stuck in careers that we don't like. Because this is not the state that humans were designed to be in. However, after generations and millennials, I mean millennials as not the people who show up as we call millennials. I mean millennials as like eons of time. And I might have made that word up to relay that I was talking about eons of time. But because humans have been in this state for so long, it's become ingrained. It's become a tribal norm. It's become just how we think that we operate. This is not how you were designed to operate. I promise you, you are a divine creator. If you are here alive on planet Earth right now, which all of you are, because you're hanging out here, sending me hearts and love across the screen, which I like, by the way. It makes me feel really good. Makes me feel really happy about showing up and sharing with you. Send me a couple more. Heart it up for me. All right. If you are a human being here on the planet right now listening to this, you are a creator. You are here to create the thoughts. Thoughts are the basis of everything that manifests in our physical reality. If you're not familiar with the 7 Hermetic principles, I highly recommend that you do a little research on those. Send me a private message if you want to know a little bit more about them. I've got some great resource tools that I will share with you. But mentalism, every thought that you think, is the basis of all things that begin to manifest in your real life. So learning to clear out the old thoughts, consciously create the thoughts that we want to think. This is one of the very, very first steps to really, really getting control of your life, and also learning how to get into the Akashic Records. All right, because you can't get into the Akashic Records with your same old brainwaves that are working, running all of these old programs like a hamster on a wheel. You have to learn to direct the thoughts. And here's another big point of getting into the Akashic Records. You got to be willing to self-course correct. All right? You've got to be willing to shift the brain waves, to move into a higher state of consciousness, and actions that are going to unlock answers for you. In order to get into your Akashic Records, there are a couple basic things that you need. One, you need to know that such a thing exists. That there is a resource tool where you can go and really begin to extract powerful information. Okay? Then you need to do something to clear out the old density, because you can't get in unless you have a really high vibration. Okay? It's just the way that it goes. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be happy when you're going in. You can still be sad. You can still have things in your life that are frustrating you. You can still have places where you're angry. But you have to be willing to take it in to this high frequency space and be willing to self-course correct. Okay? Ain't no mama bear gonna show up in there and be like, oh yes, baby, you should be stressed about this. They are assholes. Nope. You gotta be willing to self-course correct. You have to invite the knowledge and ask, what am I doing to create these situations where I'm stuck in my life? All right, we talked about how the brain keeps us stuck in those same bad decision making, finding ourselves in bad relationships, finding ourselves in careers that don't really assist us, finding yourself with health dis-ease. If you've held on to those negative feelings, those negative patterns, and you've been frustrated with your life for long enough, it will manifest as physical disease in your life. But if you're willing to slow down and to go into a deep state of meditation, clear out your vessel, be willing to see yourself from a non-judgmental space, Okay, so that's important. You got to be willing to self-correct, but you can't get all pissed off at yourself either. You've got to invite the areas of knowledge where can I learn and grow and show up differently? If you've got a stressful relationship that is bugging the hell out of you, I'm going to invite you clear out your field, intend to go into the records. Now, I'm giving you a very simplistic view of it today. All right, this is actually a very, very high level space. Like I told you, Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein all would go in and extract information from this space. All right, I'm giving you a very glossy overview. When you get really deep into it, man, you can get some powerful tools. And for those of you who are interested in getting really deep with it, I'm going to invite you to send me a private message. There are mentorship programs and certification programs I would love to invite you into if you are a right fit for this kind of work, where you can come in and study with me and I can teach you all the high-level master tricks, because there's a lot of deep programming that we have to do. But if you're now, in this now moment, I'm going to invite you to begin to use this technique more often in your life. Okay, clear it out with your breath. Clear out your vessel with your breath. Know that there is a library of infinite wisdom that is accessible to you, and intend to go in there with your intention, with your imagination. Okay, and once you get into that space, begin asking questions that are going to uncover insight as to how and why you're staying in the same old patterns that you've been staying in. All right? Ask questions with the heart to self-course correct, but not be all mad at yourself. You can't stay in a space where you're like, damn it, Emily, I did it again. Why did I do it again? Because if you ask without that willingness to really love yourself and have deep compassion for yourself, the answers that you're going to get are not going to be pure. They're not going to be authentically coming from the records. You're going to get an answer from the field around you, maybe an answer from your mind, but to truly get the insight from the records, you've got to be in a space where you are willing to love yourself and to receive the knowledge that will allow you to self-course correct. Okay, is this making sense to you guys? Let me hearts and some love and some thumbs up across the screen if this is all making sense to you guys. All right? Thank you. One measly heart. All right. If you have questions about it, if it's not making sense, ask questions. I'm going to spend a little time here with you guys and dive in and see what questions we can illuminate for you. Anthony, there is someone that I know that allowed negativity to manifest in his life, and most people are not even aware of it. And as always, that negativity comes out of him, life sucks, and then you die, and he's not even aware of it. Yeah, I would tend to say, Anthony, that when you get in those loops of being just like a Debbie Downer, and life sucks, and this and that, most of the time, you're not even aware of how much junk that you're actually pumping out there into the field. All right, and if you start to find yourself going into these patterns where you've thought one thought and then you've thought another complaining thought and another complaining thought, give yourself a red flag. Be like, oh, geez, there I am. I'm going into those old patterns. I need to clear out the field and simply reach up for your Akashic records and say, what do I need to do to shift, to feel better in this moment? What can I do? How can I begin to direct my thoughts in a different way that's going to actually feel better inside of my body? Okay, step back into the picture with old energy. It's mind-blowing. Woo! I love that. Annabelle, that's resonating with you. Self-course correct, yes. Those of you might know, if you don't know now, you know, I'm leading an incredible trip into Mount Shasta in April. And I'm going to be releasing some more information about this, probably right after I get off of this video with you guys. So check your email, come back and check here at the Akashic Academy, this Facebook page, to learn more about this. But this is an alchemy experience, meaning we're going into sacred vortexes, learning how to transmute the denser parts of ourselves, the base metals, into gold. All right, so basically how to turn all of your gunk into the most pure magical goal that will begin to assist you in your life. Now, we need the help of the Ascended Masters to do that. Ascended Masters, they're known for living inside of the mountain, Mount Shasta. There is an interdimensional city within Mount Shasta where the Ascended Masters gather. Okay? Now, in order to be able to have a physical, visceral experience with the Ascended Masters, we have to raise our vibration to a certain level. In order to get the vibration up to that level, you've got to be willing to self-course correct. And once you self-course correct enough and you establish this within your being, it is nearly impossible for you not to have a visceral experience. By visceral, I mean like physical experience with the Ascended Masters. And that is one of the goals that we are holding for Mount Shasta, is to actually begin to call these interdimensional beings forward. Okay, so I'm really glad that that term self-course correction is something that is resonating with you guys, because, and ladies. Ava, I see you out there. Ava says, very interesting about becoming aware of where the information is coming from, mind, field, or the Akash. Yes. You'll know that you are in the space of the Akash when you really feel the answers coming back to you, resonating from unconditional love and zero judgment. All right, the field is all around you. All right, and we're all interconnected to the field. And if you throw questions out into the field from a pissy attitude, generally the answer you get back is pissy attitude too, right? Why does this person keep showing up in my life and hurting me this way? Well, because they're an asshole. I think I've said asshole many times on this. Many times. If anybody knows how many times I've said the a-hole word on here, go back and count and put it in for us. All right? But if you ask from that perspective of feeling shitty about things, then the answers you get come back from that same space of feeling pretty shitty. That's why it's very important that you clear out the field, clear out your body before you begin diving into this kind of work. All right, and it's why a meditation practice is really important as well, because the more you spend time meditating, the more control you get over your own energy field. Okay, the more control you get over your thoughts, the more control you get over your emotions, and the more control you have of choice when it comes to what it is that you're going to think. All right, so that's one of the reasons why showing up here and doing synchronized breathing is so important, because it's going to begin to slow down your reaction time, to slow down your processing time, so you can really jump back into the driver's seat. All right, I know we did when we first came in here. Let's close out with just a few more nice deep breaths together. And again, this is really, your breath is some of the most accessible technology that you have to begin shifting your field. So let's do one thing slightly different this time. All of the consciousness there that's in the mind, that's been listening to this broadcast, it's been processing areas. I always look crazy when I do this, right? They've been processing the areas of your life where you might be stressed, where you might be going over the same loop-de-loop of thoughts that you've had. I want you to consciously pull that energy out of the brain. All right, just imagine that you're pulling all of the consciousness out of the mind, sink it down, and put your consciousness back in your body and your heart space. Begin to activate the heart mind. Your heart has neurons that can process a heck of a lot different than your brain does. All right? And let's use these 7 nice deep breaths to fully activate our heart mind. All right? You might even want to just lay your hands over your heart. This gives you permission, your body permission to know that it's safe. And it's safe to process life through your heart. You're not a softie. People aren't going to run over you. You're not going to get manipulated or taken advantage of by processing life through your heart. Okay, it's safe to do this. And let's really begin to activate some dynamic heart energy here together. I want you just to imagine all of us here on this broadcast, all connected through the field And the more we raise the frequency of our own individual hearts, the more we're raising the frequency of each other's hearts and of the collective heart space of Mother Earth herself. Okay, so 7 nice deep breaths, guys. Nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine sending consciousness out through your heart space. This is a little different than the breath exercise we did in the beginning, so if you like this, go back and watch the beginning exercise as well. Deep breath in. Filling up with heart consciousness and then exhaling, sending it out into the world. Increasing the love and light here on the planet, increasing the connection we all have together. Deep breath in. Gentle pause before we exhale, letting all that love and light sink into your body before you send it out, before you share it with the planet. Again, feel the state of your own body and mind alchemizing, shifting. Deep breath in, fill up those lungs, and nice slow exhale. Learning to process this experience with the heart mind, getting out of our old stories, our old patterns. Your heart knows your soul purpose, knows your mission, knows your greatest potential. We're activating it and strengthening it here throughout all of humanity. Thank you guys for being light workers and not only shifting your own energy, but raising the vibration of the entire planet by doing this exercise. Increasing your ability to enter the Akashic Records and extract intelligence at a moment's notice. Deep breath in. Gentle pause. And sending out that intention. Being a being who is willing to self-course correct, who's excited to ignite your abilities to tap higher creativity, higher intelligence. Good work. And as more and more of us begin to up-level this way on the planet, we are truly making a huge difference. If this was helpful for you today, give me a yes in the comments below and take a moment to share this out in either on your timeline with somebody that you know is stuck in a little bit of density and needs a bit of release. Share it into the spiritual groups where you know that the community is here to hold love and light. So the more that we all come together, whether you did this live with us now or you're doing it on the recording, there is truly only the now moment. And if you are ready to connect more dynamically with yourself, with the rest of the planet, share this out, because like I said, we're all doing this breath work together, this powerful work in the now moment. I love you guys very much. For those of you who are excited to learn more about the Akashic Records and diving into what is possible for you, either scroll up to the top of this page, click learn more. You'll learn more about what's going on inside the Akashic Academy. Feel free to reach out to me right here on Facebook as well. I've got an incredible presence here on Facebook, meaning that I'm on it a lot. That's what I mean by saying I have an incredible presence here. Not like, oh, Emily's here on Facebook. Here she is. No, I mean that I'm freaking here a lot. All right, this is basically my office. Facebook is my office. So shoot me a message. I would love to know how I can show up and support you more dynamically through your life. So you have a powerful mission, a powerful reason for being here on the planet, and I'm proud of you for leaning in even when it feels like the energies get dense. Thank you guys for being here, and have a great rest of your day.